So we understood what is a string till now, right? So string plays a very different role when compared with other data types because good. So because string is a kind of data type which is a mixture of many other data types, and many times you will be coming across the input as a string, or you will be getting the data from your sources as a string, and you will have to get them converted to the appropriate data type, whether it is your boolean or whether it is your integer. So whatever it is, many times when communication between two different systems is involved, you'll be getting, most of the time you'll be receiving the input as string. That's the reason why string should be taken care separately, and that's the reason why we are stressing more on the string data type. Understood? Making sense? Good. So let's start with understanding what is a string. So string is a data type used to represent text as a series of Unicode characters. What is a character, by the way? Any an understanding on what is a character? We discussed character when we were discussing our data types. So character is a single Unicode alphanumeric value. Okay, whether it is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or A or B or C or alpha or gamma or anything. Fine. So your string is a group of Unicode characters put together as a text. Making sense? And many times this group of Unicode characters would be having some meaning associated with it, however, which will not be caring much about it as part of our technology. Making sense? So there are multiple functions associated with your string which you should be understanding as part of our understanding associated with your string. Okay, and these functions related to your string are called as string functions. Making sense? So these functions can be used to perform certain operations associated with your string. Fine. And before getting into this point, you should understand that there are two different types of strings which you would be coming across, and let me show you the two different types of strings which you will be coming across in your C#. Okay, string str, okay, and string str1. Fine. So what is the difference between string which is starting with your small s and the string which starts with your capital S? Do you know the difference between these two string types? Object? No. Capital type? No. Actually, when we were discussing .NET framework, we understood that there are certain set of types which are a part of your common type system, which will help you in interoperating between multiple languages, and these data types are called as framework specific types, right? So here your string which starts with capital S is same. Understood? So I'll show you, and it can be correlated with your int 32 in your integer, or boolean in your bool, when we are performing boolean data types. So let me create a new project with VB.NET. Okay, and I'll show you the difference there. Till now I did not get a chance to use VB.NET. Let me show you. Cancel. Okay. New project and templates and other languages. Visual Basic. Okay, Windows console. Fine. This is your VB application. So let's open our program.cs file in this application, and we'll try to understand the difference there. Fine. So here in your VB application, dim str as str ring. Fine. So here this string and this string are same. Making sense? And if we have to relate it this way, dim uh, int as integer. Okay, dim intf as int 32. Understood? So here int 32 is your framework specific type and integer is your VB specific type. And is it making sense, guys? So here int int and int 32 int. So int 32 remains same both in your VB.NET and C#.NET. Making sense? However, uh, in your in your C#, you see that integer is declared as int, and in your VB.NET you are declaring it as integer. Fine. Keywords differ. However, if you want to maintain interoperability, you will use the framework specific data types. Vishwa, is it clear or do you have any questions? Good. So that is the difference between your string and capital string. And many times you will get this question in your interviews or the basic screening test they send you or anything like that. Okay, so that's the reason why we are discussing it. So that being said, now coming back to our string functions, we understood that string functions are a set of functions associated with your string class, which would be helping you in performing some predefined operations on your string type of data. Making sense? Good. So basically there are multiple type of string functions, and we'll understand the function and the associated purpose of it, okay, using this table defined here. Okay, so the first thing is your clone function. Do you know what is cloning? What is cloning, Sneha? Are you getting it? Making a copy. Good. So here the clone function will make a copy of the original string. Understood? And the second important function associated with your string is contains. What will this contains to? It will check, for example, think that I have a string saying hello world. Okay, I wanted to check whether the string contains W in it or not. Okay, then I can use the contains function and I can pass the Unicode character or any string any input string to check whether the character or string exists in the given string or not. Understood? We'll look at samples of these. Don't worry. So let me right away do it. Okay, I'm closing the Visual Basic application, which we don't need now. And let's go back to our C# based application, and here what I'll do, string str equal to hello. Okay, and I can say console dot write line of str dot contains of, okay, contains of h. Fine. So it should display true, right? Because hello has h in it. Understanding or not? Are you able to see the screen? Sneha, are you there? Sneha, are you there? Can you hear me? Sneha, is it audible? Not sure whether she is there or not. Okay, fine. So it displays true. Okay, now I'm checking with n. Okay, hello doesn't contain n, so it should return false. Making sense? Did you understand what is the purpose of here contains? Good. So again, you have one other function called as here ends with. Okay, it will check whether your given string ends with a appropriate character or not. Okay, so I'll say ends with of n. Okay, it should say false because it ends with o, right? Invalid character. Okay, so fine. Somebody seems to have a question. Sneha, I'm outside. I cannot listen to the class properly. Can you please forward? Definitely, Sneha. It's there till now. Every class has been recorded and all of them have been placed in your Google Drive. Okay, I have given you access. Check whether you have access or not, whether you are able to access the recordings or not, and get back to me. Fine. If you don't have access, let me know. Send out an email. I'll definitely give you access again. But I have verified it. You have the access. Okay. So now let me check with whether your word ends with O or not. Okay, it should say true. Fine. Making sense, Vishwa? Krishna? Vishwa, is it making sense? Good. So now you have the next function called as equals. How to check? So I'll say string 1. I'll create a new string and I'll check whether both of them they are equal or not. str1. So it should return true. Fine. And I'll change value of my str1 to help instead of hello, and now it should return false. Making sense? That's the purpose of your equal to function. And index of function will tell you what is the index or position number associated with a given character. Okay, and if there are two characters, two positions where your given character is located, then it will tell you the first character's position. Okay, so here I have two L's, right? So I'll say index of, and what I'll do, index of L. Okay, what is the first place at which L is located? 0, 1, 2. Right? Did you get it? So it will give you the position at which the given character is present. And the next one, associated with your string functions is to lower. Okay, think that I want to convert everything to lower. Okay, string dot to lower to lower, and I'll run it. Okay, it should display everything in lower characters, right? And similarly, you have something else called as to upper, which will convert everything to upper. Fine, understood? And length is a function which will get the length associated or length of the given string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should display 5. Fine. And remove. It will delete the characters from beginning to specified index position. Okay. So it will remove the characters. So it will accept two parameters. starting index I'll give it as 0, and it will say I'll say 0 till 2. Okay, 2 characters starting from your first position should be removed. Okay, so let me got it. Vishwa, is it clear? So, and replace will replace certain characters inside your string with something else. Okay, it will accept two parameters, and I'll say h with z. Okay, and I'll display it. Fine, it has replaced h with z. Making sense? Good. And now after that you have split function. So it will split your string based on certain character or certain value. Okay, so fine. So it will create two different strings. Okay, so let me hit a breakpoint here and show you what will this split function result in. Quick watch. Okay, it will create two different strings. First contain h and second contains llo. Making sense? It will split one string into number of array of strings based on the given character using which you wanted to split. I am splitting it using e, so it will split everything before e and after e. Making sense? Good. Now starts with, okay, starts with h will return a true. Don't want this breakpoint anymore. I'm running it. It will return a true. Understood? It will check whether the given string is starting with this substring or not. Fine. Understood? Good. Now substring will return, okay, a part of the original string. Okay, substring of, okay, it, okay, it will, I'll get from first position till third position. Okay, it will get the portion of the string starting from the first position and for three different characters. Okay, you got it? Understood? Vishwa, is it making sense? I'm going a bit faster because these are very basic things. However, you can stop me if you have any questions. Hope it's understood. Yes or no? Good. So, two character array. Okay, so it will create a array of characters. Okay, now so see what your string dot to, okay, sorry, I don't want 1 or 3. Okay, I'll run this and I'll get a character array. Okay, array of chars. Did we get a character array? And it contains all the elements h, e, l, l, o. Making sense? That's about your character array. And trim will trim, okay, if I have a space at the end, then it will remove that space. Okay, and there are three different functions associated with trim again. Okay, and this will remove the beginning spaces and ending spaces, and it will not display space. Okay, however, if you check without trimming it, okay, it will give you a space. Are you able to see the space in the beginning? Okay, so now if I trim it, it will not show the space in the beginning or in the end. Fine. However, there are two other functions called as trim end and trim beginning. Okay, they'll trim space only in the beginning or in the ending. Understood? So these are the different string functions we have. Is it making sense? Good. So after this, let's try to do some practice. And so first thing, recently I have come across some question in an interview. Okay, let's do the practice of that question. One second. I don't have the question here. Fine, no problem. So let me get something else. Any questions? Anyone? Vishwa, do you have a question? Okay. Okay, fine. So fine. We'll start with reversing a string. Okay. Basically, this question is asked in an interview again. So let's see how to reverse a string. You have a reverse function, okay, but they'll tell you not to use reverse. Okay, first thing is reverse. You can reverse it, but they'll not they'll tell you not to use reverse function. Okay, then the first thing is reverse function, as you said. However, the second thing would be something like a, if they ask you, you don't need a for loop also. Okay, this is where collections play a role. Okay, so you can say to array. Okay, and array can be reversed. Fine. Oh, you cannot see the screen. Good. So this has a dot reverse of ARR. Fine. Making sense? Good. Now what you can do, you can display, you can create a string out of your array. a string out of your char array. Okay, what you can do, str string of fine, local variable char array. Okay, good. New, fine. So this is how you build a string from your character array. Okay, this is the second thing which you can quickly use. And third option, again using for loop, you can do it. Fine. And again, there are few other functions as well which you can create, which you can perform, but they require you to know some basic understanding of LINQ. Okay, so we'll discuss them when we are doing the LINQ. What else can we check? Good. So they can ask you something like stuyhd, okay, and this function which I have shown you earlier, okay, if they were asking there to replace, okay, if there is something like y, okay, you have to replace it with x or xy, and if you have h, you will replace it with gh, okay, and you will display everything as a string again. Making sense? Good. So how will you do that? Basically, you'll create a character array using split of, okay, split of split accept string type again. Var. And what you can do, let's see what is the type of var which you are getting here. Should be a string array. There is a string array. Okay, good. So str good. Now what you can do, again you can loop through this for each string yes in arr. Okay, you can write the logic to replace them, okay, with the appropriate character. Okay, and here you'll be using either switch case or if statement or anything, and finally you'll be building the string out of the char array and you'll display it. Making sense? Understood? So in this way you can perform different char functions or different operations using your string, and expect some assignment from me today based on your string functions, and we'll look at it in our next class. Okay, do you have time to take assignments? If you don't take assignments, there is no use attending the training. Okay, however, please, I know you're in marketing and you might be getting calls, but I think you will have at least 1 hour time in a day, right? So take the assignments and we'll discuss the assignments based on your answers. We'll check whether there is some other way to do it or not. Okay. Let me open, let's do some more practice today. Let me know when you are able to see the screen. Fine. These are very basic things, but we should start with very basic ones. So that's the reason why we are starting here. Okay. So this particular question, it asks you to get a number and display the sum of the digits. Making sense? Are you understanding it? Yes or no? Are you able to see the screen or not? Good. Okay. I don't see the chat window there. Okay. Good. So can you take it as practice? Good. Awesome. Now let me give you okay, I have some 4 or 5 questions here. I want, okay, I think I have only 3 questions. Okay, so I want you to answer all the 3 questions. Okay, it's very basic questions. All of them, they are very basic questions. So maybe give it a try. And if you have any questions, we can discuss them, okay, in the class. Shit. Fine. Is it okay? Are we understanding? Is it doable? Good. So now, good. I don't want to discuss delegates today because the other guys are absent. But still, so let's wind up the session for today then. We'll meet tomorrow and we'll discuss something called as delegates and we'll go through the answers. Okay, please take time to answer the questions and we'll discuss the answers, or if there is some better way of doing it, we'll do it. Fine? Okay. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining. Let's meet tomorrow then. Okay, all of them, they are very basic questions. Okay, we'll start with the very basic questions, and if you have any concerns or if you are not understanding, we'll do them later. Thank you. Bye.